Good morning, my friends. DRBMiller here. I welcome you all to our Destiny world and Destiny 1 world it is today. We are coming back to our regular Destiny 1 streams after a week of absence. As you know, last week we've had Destiny 2 Forsaken back-to-back with Solstice of Heroes armor quests. All of that has been successfully completed, I'm pleased to say, so therefore we are more than ready to commence with our usual activity here. First of all, we have our daily and weekly tasks. They include daily heroic strikes together with weekly nightfall, some activities in the Crucible, and then any other tasks that may be here still to be completed, as well as lots of tasks which are attributed to our friends and our community members who are still working on the game. And regrettably, in view of Shadowkeep release, we've observed a larger drop of viewers and streamers here in Destiny 1. So from maybe 24, it's gone down to maybe half dozen, and that's the way it's been during the last 10 days. I think the reason for that is certainly the introduction of cross-platform save on Destiny 2, so people are really trying to experiment with the data all they have on their console, which is then migrated to PC, and then trying to engage others with gameplay. And as you know, Destiny 2 Forsaken is an amazing game. It's absolutely massive in its content and everything that it offers, so therefore people can do lots of different things. There's something for everyone. It's a lot more complex and more long-winded than Destiny 1, which is sort of directing you to straightforward tasks and therefore thoroughly enjoyable. Yesterday we've had quite a bit of PvP stroke PvE activity. We've had the Crucible for a few hours and then Gambit as well. So altogether it was a very good, wouldn't say return, but continuation of our activity in that sequel, and that was complementing everything done in PvE, many of which of those tasks actually were completed and gone through during the last 3 weeks. As you know, now we have Majestic Armor. The armor is applicable to the new level of Destiny engagement, all to follow with Shadowkeep, the next chapter in level on all the inventory to 750. We are going to have PvP, which is sizably and considerably reworked. In addition to that, there will be a lot of new content and the way we use our weapons and armor, which are going to be customizable. To start with, we'll get on with our Majestic armor, just acquired from Ava and Banshee, I should say, and then we'll be able to upgrade it to fully customizable level, which is called 2.0. And all of that is to follow. As you know, the next chapter is to be released on the 1st of October, and therefore we are all more than ready for it. We're also waiting for New Light. Allegedly, New Light is going to be automatically increasing that light level for everyone. So it means that people who do not want to be grinding, they will not have to work on the armor to get to that level, which in fact is quite good if you consider the community participation and how many people we want to come here every single day. And indeed it is more commercially viable because, as you could imagine, anyone going through the entire game from the beginning would perhaps be put off and may not want to be cracking on with the new chapter. But that is something new. Don't forget, it's the first time that we are having that sort of customization upgrade literally from the start. And in fact, if you look at it, it is almost like a new game has been introduced, i.e. a separate standalone game, which isn't the case really. And the system that they're introducing is with chapters and ever-evolving content here in one universe. But you know, these tweaks are going to be helpful. I'm not sure whether our community members are going to be experiencing it as good and positive, because there may be some resentment and maybe some anger as well on display in view of the fact that the vast majority of our participants here were grinding the content for 2 years, and therefore they felt this was a true achievement. But don't forget, in order to get the achievements and fill your collections and do all the tasks, you will still have to do all of those. The only difference is that the armor is going to be providing you with a greater power level, stroke light level here in Destiny 1, and that is definitely the major marked difference. and we just have to wait and see how all will unravel. And I'm also particularly excited about New Light, because as you know, the New Light is a standalone, free of charge game, cross-platform access, and we are going to have some elements of Destiny 1 and Destiny 2 in there. I'm not sure what the format is likely to be. They've not confirmed it yet, but there were some stories that New Light is basically reworked Year 1 Destiny 2 game, standalone game, and therefore everybody will be able to get more familiar with Guardians and the ever-evolving world. I'm not sure whether this is exactly how it's going to be, but don't forget, as it is a free of charge game, they may be able to tweak a few things in there if there was some degree of displeasure, prominently displayed by our community members, and we all look forward to this. Also, I need to say that it's very rare that a major publisher or developer offers the entire game free of charge in order to complement its new chapter release or the new installment production, and therefore we are quite happy to see all of that developing before us, and I simply can't wait for that 1st of October to roll. We still have about 5 or 6 weeks left, and what on earth is going on now? I've lost my picture and sound for some reason. Don't know what's happening. Yeah, came back again. So where was I? Today we are returning back to our Destiny 1 world, and we'll do our usual weekly tasks. We start with a bit of Crucible, and then we'll do some strikes and everything else. I think it's always good to be warming up with some PvP. It provides us with some exciting, fierce entertainment, and people like watching PvP overall. The only trouble is I have very, very poor internet upload speed, and therefore I can't really compete, but anyway, I kind of have grown to accept the fact, and I'm providing just a bit of entertainment for those who are quite in awe of that PvP activity. And as you know, the Crucible is the most popular activity here in Destiny 1 still. Many hundreds of thousands of people are playing it every single day and enjoying those competitive matches. I can't compete, and I can't really be a full team member because of my upload speed, which is creating a massive lag, but still it's sometimes good fun to be participating and doing a bit of PvP here. I just can't wait to be able to play all of the PvP's Destiny 1 and 2 included once I get the new setup, but I'm not sure whether I'll be able to get it here at my present location, because the local ISPs are unwilling to provide those cables literally just to connect the fiber which is present in our local street exchanges to our properties, and there's nothing I can do. I complain to those companies, I complain to my local MP, I've written letters to the local city hall and to the local councillors, and basically I got no response whatsoever. They're just completely unconcerned, and basically the logic is, as you are not many enough people in those properties to be purchasing our fiber, our work, which allegedly is to be carried out, is going to be too expensive for us, and therefore we are not going to do it, which is utter nonsense. And it's contrasting the way things used to be, because you would just provide a system and then you'll see how many subscribers you will get. But today it's the other way around. If you can see that in the local area, potentially there aren't going to be that many people subscribing, therefore you will not do it. And it's just beyond ludicrous. It really actually defies the logic and the principles of free trade and marketing. But there you are. This is what we are stranded with, and it's not just myself. I've talked to quite a number of people who live in central London. They're having exactly the same difficulty. I've talked to some people living in Pimlico and Victoria, in the heart of London, and they can't get their fibre optic for exactly the same reason. They don't want to be connecting street exchanges to those properties because they require just completely new infrastructure, and that costs. The engineers have to be paid. Labour costs are there, as well as the materials and all other works that need to be completed, and therefore they're unwilling to do that. So we are really stranded, and in fact it's troubling to consider that in Britain, if you are changing properties, if you're considering to relocate, you will have to be having some kind of major points left on your checklist, and those headings will include council tax, and indeed a council tax rate, basically how much you need to pay in the local area to the local council, as well as the question whether your fiber optic is going to be accessible in the same area. So bear with me, I need to find out what's happening with my display, because for whatever reason I'm not getting a good response. That picture keeps disappearing for the reasons unknown to me, so we'll have to see what's happening. Right, so I'll give you a bit of news. We've had obviously all the news yesterday, Gamescom related, and still there are lots of news coming in and trickling along from Cologne. First of all, it's very important to say that Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the kind of a beta test is going to be offered this weekend, so everyone on PlayStation 4 exclusively will get this content, and you can download the content and then play it at will here through your console. Make sure you download it today, or leave it for that download overnight, because it's probably going to be quite sizable and you are then likely to be able to play it from tomorrow morning. It is going to be accessible for 3 or 4 days during the weekend, and it is a PvP 2 against 2 mode, giving you the first and the best possible experience of that Battle Royale mode. There, I think we are likely to be experiencing a match that will have, a game that lasting I think about 4 or 5 matches, and then the best out of 5 will in fact be winning. Really excited about that. They announced that on Monday night, I think, during Jeff Keighley's presentation. So really good stuff. It is obviously PlayStation 4 exclusive, and we'll look forward to it. If you are going to be accessing Metro Exodus, they had updated their 2 kernels DLC, so there are some new settings and new bits of content in there. Then you have also Telling Lies. Telling Lies is a new exciting game, and it has been released, and it is an interactive film that is based on a mystery story, so it's very similar to the interactive films of the 90s, and we've had a number of those launched in the last couple of years. Some of them took off, the others were not too popular, but this one is certainly causing storm, and many people are loving it, enjoying it and playing it. So absolutely, definitely try Telling Lies, and you can purchase it through PlayStation. So we had some really rave reviews everywhere coming in from there. Then we have also 20 years of Games Radar, celebrating up the moment and dedicating their celebration to 10 developers who basically they consider to be the most innovative. We've heard about Cyberpunk 2077 and its Dolby Atmos sound, so that is a first, and we really look forward to experiencing it. Dolby Atmos is a very immersive sound system, which indeed is used in cinemas, and if you watched any of those blockbusters, Marvel superheroes included, you would have seen that you really become a part of that environment with that fantastic, very immersive sound. I watched quite a few films in a new cinema which we have in central London, literally on Piccadilly Circus, called Picture House Central, and they have screen number 3, which is dedicated to high quality screenings, and absolutely wonderful type of experience which you can have. I watched, I tell you, Mad Max, the latest installment in there in Dolby Atmos, and I watched I think Jurassic Park, the latest, and then what was the other? Quite a selection, I can't actually remember now off the top of my head, but certainly very pertinent, very razor sharp, crystal clear, and indeed fully immersive. So you're watching any blockbusters, any sci-fi spectaculars, anything that's got a lot of thumb crash and wallop type of activity, you will be absolutely and truly delighted. So remember, Dolby Atmos is going to be introduced on Cyberpunk 2077, and everyone's saying do not miss out, this is going to be awesome, and I agree with that. So we had lots of information launched during the last few days through Gamescom on Cyberpunk. It is probably one of the most hotly anticipated games of the decade, and it is going to be released next year, so we are very much looking forward to it. The other interesting bit of news which we received yesterday was about Monster Hunter World, and principally you are going to be able to play Aloy, and Aloy is coming back to Iceborne expansion, so therefore if you are purchasing this DLC. You'll be able to play as Aloy. You'll remember Aloy is a character from Horizon Zero Dawn, and therefore they will integrate those two worlds together. So it's something similar to what we had with Marcus Phoenix being imported, and you know, the weapons from Mass Effect being brought to Dragon Age, and sort of merging two separate worlds together. I think it's a very good, ingenious way of basically making sure that the communities join hands. And as you know, sci-fi games and the distant, ancient, historic worlds games perhaps sometimes don't mix, but if you do that stylishly and pleasantly and with you know, a good notion in mind, then you will get those people popping in and playing both games. And that is likely to be the case here. They want really Horizon Zero Dawn community members to be popping in and trying Monster Hunter World, but at the end of the day, these two worlds are quite similar. Spawn the Joker and Schwarzenegger's Terminator are joining hands in Mortal Kombat 11. That's the other bit of news Game Informer tells us, so that is indeed very exciting. The most important thing we've heard in the last few days in terms of storage spaces and in terms of how to basically expand on the hard drive that our consoles have was coming from Western Digital, and they produced the Western Digital Black P10 game drive for Xbox One, and that is, if I'm not mistaken, let me see, this is a massive storage space, and now I can't really see. I think it was providing you with 20 or 30 terabytes of storage space. I remember reading it the other day, and it was absolutely massive. So they said that literally all the games on Xbox Game Pass could be stored on that drive, and that would probably include more than 200 games. So as you could see, definitely very much of assistance and very much of benefit for everyone. And let me see, what else do we have? We have yes, that's right. We have a major announcement related to Control. Control is a game that is also hotly anticipated. It will launch on Xbox One on the 27th of August. There are some trailers on my Twitter, so if you're interested. It is a game accessible, released on all platforms. You'll be able to access it on PC and Xbox, as well as your PS. And so really very exciting times ahead of us. Plenty of new releases, and as you can see, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Destiny 2 Shadow Keep, Control, just to name a few, and also we're expecting Final Fantasy 15 Remaster, but I think that is going to be later in the year or even early next year. So these are news I just told you about, some of those trickling along from Gamescom. Just see whether they published anything today. Quite curious to see. I've not really looked at it yet. And let me see if they have Gamescom. Today should be the last day, I think. They are running ESL Germany, and that's the championship today. So that is literally taking place as we speak. And that's in the event Arena Hall 11.3. And now they're running Beat the Legend show match. And the grand finale of the Crown in Germany Sports starts at midday today. So that's just about to start in about 15 minutes. Make sure you get there if you are indeed in Cologne. And you can watch it live on various hubs on the internet. And they also want everybody to be voting for the Gamescom Awards. You can be basically voting for your best booth, best esports experience, best streamer, and of course the most wanted consumer award. All of that taking place literally as we speak. And then we have lots of different people who are presenting us with many different ideas in there, in plenaries and conferences. And Gamescom has been absolutely and truly delightful, completely successful, and we actually want to have something like that in London, because for us Brits it's a bit hard sometimes to get to Cologne and you know, to fit it in with our schedule. I would have gone there had I not been extremely busy, and therefore been unable to participate, not just during this week, but also when they had the Twitch events early in the year in Berlin. So we'd like some of that over here, please, if possible. But as you could see, Germany is the industry leader. They are making sure that all is taking place in Germany, and that is truly appreciated by the gamers, literally continent-wide, and many of those were coming from afar, really, to participate. And a very busy conference, completely sold out, really. from what we could see so far. Still having some problems with my display. I don't know what's going on. Trying to work out also what other news we are looking at. Well, there are loads of different postings on Gamescom 2019, and you can just go to Twitter and then have a look. Let me just see what Bungie said since we had the presentations there. Quite curious. Well, first of all, I'd like to ask all of our community members to pop in and send us an email or tell us here through our chat on Twitch what the experience of cross-platform save has been so far, because as you know, it's been operating since yesterday, and we know that lots of our friends and gaming associates were indeed exporting and importing the data, therefore making sure they can access Destiny 2 on any platform. I've not had any responses so far, so I'm quite curious to see whether it works. And Bungie was saying that there were some serious issues during the first 24 hours. They also said today's maintenance has been extended as we investigate an issue with account authentication on Bungie.net, resulting in 500 errors for some players. Stand by for updates. So I'm not sure whether they responded to this. I want to see what they said on Bungie.net, but so far we did not see anything. Yeah, Steam linking and cross-save known issues. Cannot authenticate Steam account. So there are some problems, and there are some people who are quite impatient and really unhappy about it, but I'm just hoping that this wasn't going to be a launch that was considered premature. And also we have some other news there saying that yeah, there are some hiccups, and minor hiccups could occur, but hopefully everybody is going to have that resolved in due course. Now, just reading some of the postings done by their community managers, they said the issues were minor, but I guess if you're considering that there are dozens of millions of people worldwide doing all that is necessary for cross-platform save, then obviously we are not surprised to hear that some people are slightly displeased. But you know, we've got to be patient and we get there in due course. Okay, so these are the news. I think the time's come fast to be proceeding with our gameplay. Let me just see whether we got everything on Twitter. And bear with me, I think I had... What we are going to do today is simply we'll focus on our weekly tasks, so bear with us. We are going to be doing some strikes, some PvP, and all else which is before us here in Destiny 1. I just want to make sure that all is in order through Restream, that we are getting the signal everywhere, because I'm getting some problems here from my end. Don't know what's causing it, hard to tell. There must be a reason, just bear with us until I get everything sorted, and then we'll crack on with some serious gameplay. We'll start with PvP, I think. We'll go to the Crucible and we'll do some activities there. Just double checking my Twitter to see whether we have some viewers and whether my stream through other platforms indeed is fully operational. At the moment it is experiencing some difficulties. So just bear with us a second and we'll crack on with all that we are used to in here very shortly. As you can see, plenty of news coming from Gamescom in Cologne, and as expected we are very excited about all of those new games, and simply can't wait for everything to unravel. Not just Destiny 2 Shadowkeep related, but also in view of all the other games. We have many other games coming out. Cyberpunk 2077 early next year. We have Gears of War coming out very, very shortly. We have Call of Duty Modern Warfare. We have Control, I think, being released this week. Really, actually quite curious about Control. Control has been prominently featuring in various magazines, and it reminds me a bit of the game called PSI, which was playable on PlayStation 2 a little while back, about 15 years ago, and it does have the same sort of supernatural component, but it looked like a very, very interesting RPG stroke adventure game. So really, really quite curious to see what sort of response and reception it is going to have. And you know, the trouble for us that are working in video gaming and film industries is purely the quantity. As the markets have become more and more competitive, as the industry really provides many more participants, and as the production costs are being reduced, we are experiencing such floods of so many titles that it's actually very, very hard to remember everything. Because I remember in my youth, if you were to be examining, I'll just give an example. I was watching a documentary on Barbara Stanwyck yesterday. I don't know whether you're familiar. Barbara Stanwyck was one of the greatest Hollywood actresses of the 1930s, 40s and 50s. A true, remarkable golden era of Hollywood star, with phenomenal performances, with great diversity, played in lots of different films across different genres. Could have been in a western or comedy or musical or drama or crime thriller or film noir, and she always excelled. And if you think about it, in her entire career, which was seen as very extensive and lasting more than 60 years, I think almost 70 years, 65 years to be precise, she made more than 80 films and some minor television appearances. So when you look at, for instance, the works of certain actors today, and you can see that they are in the mid-20s, you will find that they already had completed 80 projects. So just think about it. Barbara Stanwyck, 65 years of participation, 80 plus films, and you know, this would have been at the age of 80. And today you've got young participants aged 25 who already would have been in up to 80 projects by that time, which means they started as children and they have lots of television series. And you know, and younger actors in their 30s, you look at their data and their filmography, you realize they already participated in more than 100 projects. So it just tells you how industrious, busy and interconnected the industry have become. And for anyone who's following all these developments, it is really quite overwhelming. I mean, I spend several hours a day just reading the news, and it's completely overbearing, and you can't remember everything, so I have to focus and prioritize. And I remember talking to some of my friends who are working in media as producers and you know, work on radio and television. They said it's unbelievably difficult to select in advance to know who's going to make it if you're supporting young talent or, you know, new participants, because you have so many people coming in, and it's impossible to say who's going to be having any form of major support from the industry. So what it is, the resort to the inside support, you know, where people are picked up early, and they know that a particular person's been picked up early by the industry, although they come across as independent or unknown. They already have major funding and major support from the teams that the industry is providing them with, and therefore they'll support those. So, you know, it is a troubling game, because I thought of the way the music industry works today, and for instance, when you compare it to the music industry of the 70s, where you could say that whole development was in its infancy, you've had music made for a different purpose. The purpose was presenting something which was deeply personal and providing you with a message. So remember, deeply personal and providing you with a message. So this is quite critical. Deeply personal and providing you with a message is something that has been present in arts across the board. Any form of art. Could have been music, could have been sculpture, could have been painting, could have been audiovisual arts in the 20th century. So it's personalized. It means that the director or the participant is giving something of them in that particular performance or project, and they're providing a message. It's actually conveying a message which will be one way or the other, either personalized or coming from the team, pursuing a particular viewpoint. So think about music and films of today. Evidently you have people who are doing it exactly the same, but actually the mainstream is not accepting it. They're focusing entirely on what appears to be acceptable and digestible to the very many and to the masses or to the global markets. And major blockbusters are tailored exclusively for those global markets, and the way they are construed from the narrative through the visuals is going to be absolutely dedicated to that particular task. Therefore, that project will have a difficulty in conveying anything which is first of all appearing as personalized and conveying a particular message being, I guess, about something quite real, something about quite contemporary and based on the author's or the participant's viewpoint. That is seriously difficult, because you are then making the entire section market completely devoid of what was seen as having longevity, having the value which is going to be persisting, because lots of those things created for the commercial purposes alone will be devoid of that long-term value. But to be fair, in the 1930s Hollywood, they also had to be producing lots of musicals and lots of comedies, and but they were all seen as contemporary based on current trends. But then the directors and the teams are trying to use the format in order to give others a personalized viewpoint. So we need to see how it all develops, but I think that there is a difference which I'm not particularly keen on, because I experienced the vast majority of those projects as being devoid of personalized viewpoints, and basically being very much focused on what appears to be currently in the major demand, and therefore perhaps losing that very fundamental aspect that is a message that will be representing a particular era where people are presently something that people are presently experiencing, something representing the current state of play. So all of that is certainly fast to consider, but as I said, for myself, as a person who is indeed engaged with the news, I find it very difficult to take everything on board. Too many things are coming out of those quarters at all times, and if you are doing what you could call a cross-interest, cross-platform, cross-media interest, inclusive of music, film and video game industries, you really are talking about a 24/7 activity where you can be just reading the news, finding out what's going on, and the old days of knowing bits and pieces are long gone. So the way to deal with this is simply to prioritize and to settle for maybe some of the major providers, and to look through some of their news. But then on the other hand, the news providers are also competing. They are providing you with elements that are attached to various quarters. So you'll have some magazines catering more for the indie developers here and in the film industry, and others being tied to blockbusters and major companies. So really hard to tell as to why that is. But I have some problems today with my display. The visuals keep disappearing for some reason. I don't know why. I don't really know what's causing it. And it keeps persisting. I'm not really sure, my friends, what's happening, but evidently there is a problem where I'm losing my picture and sound. I wonder what it is related to my television set, my major display that I have here, or what? Not sure. But without further ado, we've come to the end of our news and our introduction. We didn't have many community members popping in and participating, but what we'll do is we'll crack on with some activity. As you know, as always, we'll go to our Hunter Human Male played by DRBMiller. And then we'll go to the tower, collect some bounties and crack on with some serious activity. So let's see, first of all, what we have here. As far as I remember, we had some void ability kills, which is a quest, and they need to be done in the Crucible. Okay, void damage to defeat guardians in the Crucible, so we'll have to equip weapons and everything. That will be selected accordingly. We'll go to the tower first of all, collect the bounties and then get ready. Do a bit of PvP and then we'll do some strikes. Maybe we'll do our Nightfall this week, we'll have to see. So Kapupa's away and usually he pops in for our regular Nightfall crack. And we'll see whether Joe or LGB are to join us, or maybe Flying Pirates or one of the other dedicated community members, and then we may be able to do it a bit later. Weather today is bright and sunny. They said we are to experience some serious showers and downpours before the weekend. Bank holiday weekend is expected to be roasting, scorching hot. They said another heat wave to last for about a week. So I'm not sure whether we are to experiencing it, whether we are to be experiencing it here in my local area, which is in London suburbs, north of London. But we'll see. It's been quite fresh during the last couple of days. I had to be wearing my coat as well late in the afternoon, which tells you that it was not particularly summery. Alright, so let us have a look. Some items are left here with our friend Postmaster. Red Spectre, Grim Citizen. The Vault. We got here. Dark Drinker, Boltcaster, Raise Lighter. All three of them on me. Sleep Simulant, Iron Galahorn, Hunger of Kreuter. Okay. Yeah, I don't really need that many Crucible shells because I've already got a few of them in the vault. So put that Crucible shell on. Spin metal, okay. These are all in order. High Command Cloak we were using the other day. Crucible Champion looks very good, right? But let me just see. Yeah, I'm preferring this one to the other that I've used, Competitive Match, because Competitive Match doesn't have that support for my hand cannon, and I'm using my hand cannon at most times, so you know, we'll keep this one on. And we also have some other ones which are equally good. Pulse Rifle, Shotgun, okay, looks good, but not useful. Let me see. Night Mask Cloak. Yeah, that's similar. Well, we'll keep this one on for the time being, okay. And I need to stash some stuff in the vault by the looks of it.
Restored.
The vault is fairly full. Oh no, we've got plenty of space there. Okay. So let me see. Isa Luna will use, Imago Loop will use, will not use, Grim Citizen automatic rifle we may be using. Grim Citizen. Red Spectre and Grim Citizen. Can try that, I think. Terror and Repair I didn't find particularly good. Okay, so we'll keep those automatic weapons. We have Grim Citizen and we have Red Spectre. And Matador can also go in, I think. Belisarius Defiant. Massive big ship in there. Big proofreader. Needle and thread. Oh yeah, side reel rumba will equip. Quite like side reel rumba. No, 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 no! That was ridiculously stupid what I've done now. We change the ship. Firefly. Okay. So that's looking good.
HP30 to gasoid. Double time. Double time.
Need to speak to someone down there. Probably Lord Shax. Yeah, that's correct.
No better time to gear up.
Okay, crystal weapons. Lord High Fixer. Okay, I'm quite curious about that one. Lord High Fixer. Impact is considerable. Extended magazine, small bow. Okay, we'll try that one. We just need to equip it and then Matador. Okay. So Lord High Fixer will equip, and then actually what I'll do is I'll just put the other, was it Night Mask Cloak? I think it was Night Mask, wasn't it? Yeah, we'll put Night Mask Cloak on for the time being, and we'll use our motes. Use about 30 motes in there. Plenty of motes. Crucible Reputation Booster will also take. Right, so character. Stable sight, standard sight, agile sight, lightning fast handling. Quick draw put on. Rescue mag. Chance to refill this weapon magazine when critically wounded. Extended magazine, small bow, increase range and stability. Put high caliber. increased range and stability. And third eye, radar stays active. Okay. So curious to see how good this weapon is going to be. We'll try it. And we'll have rate of fire impact is quite good. Range, stability, reload. Let me just see the range. Where's the range? Ah, it's the same really. No difference. And let me see, Margot Loop. Where's the Margot Loop? Probably even less. Isoluna. Oh, range is much better. Okay. So Isoluna should be more effective, or the most effective out of 3. Okay, we'll see. Right, we'll try then Lord High Fixer, and we got increased strength, but Night Mask Cloak will still need to be upgraded. So I think what we'll do is we'll use our High Command Cloak today, because it has that increased discipline, hand cannon focus. Yeah, that's right. So that seems to be fine. That seems to be good for what we want to achieve. Let me see. Yeah, all of those are masterworks, as we would say in Destiny 2. Gunslinger. Yeah, I'm trying to think whether I want to use Gunslinger or not. Let me just think for a moment. What are the bombs, the grenades? Incendiary, swarm, trip mine. Good swarm grenade, try that. Double jump, triple jump. Okay, we'll try that. We'll see whether it will work. And we'll pick up maybe these Crucible bounties. Curious to see whether there are any other bounties.
A ranking update. Yes.
Cannon related. Pulse, Scout, Fusion Sniper. Unlikely that I'll be able to do that.
There you go.
Okay, so we are all ready for some PvP action here. Hopefully you guys are going to enjoy it. And I should have said it differently. Sorry about that. My brain's a bit still in slow-mo. I was going to say that everything's ready for us to be enjoying it, and hopefully you guys are going to be loving the activity. Taken Meep is here. Hello Taken Meep, how are you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Destiny 1 world it is today. We'll do some PvP, as you can see, very, very shortly. Some activities out there. Look forward to them. How are you doing, Taken Meep? What's up? Whereabouts are you? In the US? In the UK? On the continent? You also one of our hardcore Destiny veterans, dedicated Destiny stroke Bungie fan right from the beginning. Let us know. What's the Crucible this week here? No, combined arms are the one to do. TechPeep says, I'm good. I'm in the United States. Wonderful. It must be quite early out there, right? It must be about 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, or is it 3 o'clock in the morning? Depending on where you are, whether you're Pacific or Eastern. Clash, Rift, Elimination, Skirmish, Rumble Supremacy. Clash is probably going to be the best. Taken Meep says, yes it is. Actually, let's see, what's there? Crucible. No. This one is Combined Arms. We were doing that a couple of days ago, I just remembered. It was tricky. It depends on, you know, the team, depends on whether people are like to be using the vehicles or not, because sometimes you get people who are just simply insisting on cracking on with firefights. But hopefully it's going to be easier to select people, because we've been waiting for Clash and for Rumble. Seemed like an infinite loading, and that is what we did not want to see here. Taking a while, so just ask everyone for a bit of patience and we get there in due course. And there we are, my friends. We have been selected for one of the matches. It does take a bit of time, and everyone needs to be a bit patient. Much faster in Destiny 2 Crucible. And as you know, in the sequel we get different maps. We played quite a bit of the Crucible yesterday, but unfortunately the matchmaking there is truly randomized, and very frequently you end up with some absolute top-notch Crucible players who are also on very, very fast internet, the upload speed that is, and therefore you face a serious challenge and you're technically hampered, like for instance myself. That can be very, very frustrating.
Combined arms. Bravo
Combined
team.
arms. Bravo team. Let me see whether we are going to have a similar sort of story
War
in there.
machines are in play. Find a ride, push the advantage. Enemy captured Zone A. Zone C captured.
Missed it. To get to that zone A.
Gained the lead. Enemy captured Zone B.
Disappeared.
You're falling behind.
It's ridiculous. He keeps disappearing. What is dreadful lag in there? Right. Taking too long to aim. Respawn so far away from these control zones. Stand no chance. He took no damage from 2 shots. Looks like the same story as usual.
Zone A neutralized.
No, I'm not gonna bother.
Enemy
Using
captured
that,
Zone A.
pike that needs my heavy interceptor. They're all fighting around A and B.
Zone A neutralized.
I'm being really brought back very,
Zone
very
C
far.
lost. Zone A secure.
Okay.
Enemy captured Zone C. You neutralized Zone B. You captured Zone B. Enemy captured Zone A. Enemy captured Zone C.
Capturing, hang on.
Zone B secure. Heavy ammo on the way. Heavy ammo available.
Now I'm being respawned elsewhere.
Zone A neutralized.
Now isn't anyone destroying him?
Zone B
Not taking
lost.
any damage. Massive lag. Did you see this? It did take damage 2 seconds later.
Enemy captured Zone B.
There's a mile in here. See, the other two guys are lagging massively in my team.
Zone C neutralized.
Massive lag.
Zone C secure.
In fact,
Enemy captured Zone A.
the matchmaking should be able to select what speeds people have and
Fight inbound.
You can come back from this, Guardian. Take the zones.
New pike available.
no.
Zone B neutralized. Zone C lost. Enemy captured Zone C. You neutralized Zone A.
They won't be able to get back to me, I don't think, that quickly.
You captured Zone A.
My golden gun didn't get him.
Zone C neutralized.
Where is it?
Zone C secure. You control all zones. Zone A lost.
Too fast, really. Ridiculously fast.
The enemies almost won. Enemy captured Zone A.
Nothing is having impact. No grenades or anything. Don't think this weapon is doing anything good, really.
The city will never gain new ground if we can't hold territory.
Didn't really work out too well. The weapon I was testing is useless and much worse than the other ones. Isoluna much superior, I think. We'll go back to Isoluna to make sure that it is active. No kills, as you could see. Lag and all sorts. Captures only 3. Very poor. Not really good at all. And Lord High Fixer needs to be put in the vault, I think. But it didn't say that the impact was so poor, did it? No. Maybe it's the range then. Isoluna's range is better. So what we'll do is we'll go back to Void. Vortex is the best. Okay. Got all of those sorted. So we are proceeding to another match, and Isoluna hopefully will do better. Yeah, I think that generally matchmaking is not selecting people according to their speed or the skill or the number of matches they've played, and it's just basically randomly throwing people in. That's definitely not good. they said that we'll rework this for the next lot of PvP once Shadowkeep comes out. Kind of look forward to seeing that. Want to see how this is going to work, because it is very important that we get people who are on a similar speed, also with the same kind of knowledge and experience being brought into the
War
same
machines
arena.
are in play.
Otherwise
Find
it's
a
unfair,
ride, push the advantage.
because the other guys have massive advantage, and, you know, technically and otherwise.
Enemy captured Zone C. You captured Zone A.
Too bad.
Zone B secure. Gained the lead. Zone B lost. Enemy captured Zone B. You're falling
Should have been
behind.
gone. Should have taken. I think he took like 4 pills.
Zone B neutralized. You neutralized Zone C. Zone A lost. Zone B secure. Zone C captured. Enemy captured Zone A.
He was there. I'm sure it's the same person
Zone
that
B
was doing
lost.
before. Just need to hit him with a grenade in there. Where's now A?
Zone C lost. You neutralized Zone A. Enemy captured Zone C. Zone A's captured. It's yours. Zone A lost. Zone B secure. Enemy captured Zone A. Zone B lost. Enemy captured Zone B. Enemy controls all zones. Zone C captured. Zone B neutralized.
Oh no. Super slow. Lag. Dreadful lag. Super didn't
Zone C lost.
register. Should have done.
Enemy captured Zone C. You neutralized Zone A. Zone B secure. Heavy ammo inbound. You captured Zone A. Heavy ammo available. Zone A lost. You neutralized Zone C. Zone C captured. Enemy captured Zone A.
There he is again.
Zone C lost.
What is this?
Interceptor inbound. Pike inbound. Interceptor available. New Pike available. Only 5 minutes left.
There he is. Didn't manage to get to him though.
Enemy captured Zone C. You're in the lead. Zone C neutralized. Zone C secure. Zone B lost. Zone B
Nobody's eliminating
secure.
that guy in there, and I don't have weapons or the means to do it. He can't be sitting in there by himself. Guys, can't you see that he needs to be eliminated? Use a sniper or something on it. I can't use my sniper, it's not effective in here.
Zone B lost. the lead.
At least this is
Zone
a bit
B
tighter than
secure.
usual.
Gained the lead. You're falling behind. Zone B lost. You neutralized Zone B. You captured Zone B. Zone C lost. One minute. You're in the lead.
Oh, where was he?
Lost the lead. Zone A neutralized. Gained the lead. Enemy captured Zone C. Zone B lost. You're falling behind. Zone A secure. Enemy captured Zone B. You're in the lead. Lost the lead. Only 10 seconds left.
Ah, well.
We'll learn from this defeat.
We lost. I don't like this particular map and the activity. I'm not getting any joy in there. I have to go to something else. It's been like this the other day when we tried it with my upload speed. I'm completely ineffective in there. Yeah, as you can see, it's complete nonsense. Death match. Let's see whether we can get anyone to come in. Well, getting some by the looks of it. Hopefully it is going to work a bit better than that competitor. That competitor didn't work. I've tried it the other day and everyone just seems to be too powerful and too mighty considering my upload speed, and much worse than anything else. So hopefully this clash is going to work better. This is a difficult match. Bannerful.
Bravo team. Execute all targets and make sure you're still standing when the dust settles. Gains the lead. You're falling behind.
The other guy stood just behind me. I couldn't retreat.
You're in the lead.
What on earth was that? Massive lag. Didn't see a thing.
Lost the lead.
See, he's got one shot, one kill.
Gained the lead.
Look at this, it's just always disappearing. I don't know what's going on in there. One of them. Now the trouble is that this group's not sticking together, I'm sure.
Heavy ammo on the way. Heavy ammo available.
Where was he? I didn't see him at all. Grenade killed me. Alright.
Only 5 minutes left.
There's somebody who's lagging in there. Neutralize them by the looks of it.
You're almost there. Hard-fought victory, Guardian.
Victory. Okay. I think I got a couple of kills in there. A bit better than in the last couple of matches, because in here I'm at least able to get some hit registration compared to the previous, where it was just complete zero, nil. 3 I managed to get. So let's see whether this perk will make it a bit more effective. I'm not going to be changing the perks again. Okay, progressing to the next destination. The burning shrine on Mercury. Yeah, This map is a bit better than the last one. The last one was actually quite deadly. Beyond slight upload speed.
Clash. Bravo team. Engage and execute all targets.
I don't know what's going on. I keep losing my picture all the time.
Gained the lead.
I'm losing my picture all the time for some reason. Don't know why.
Lost the lead. You're in the lead.
I can't see what's going on. I'm losing my picture all the time for some reason. I don't know what's happening. I won't be able to do my broadcast for this. The picture's disappearing all the time. I'm afraid I have some serious technical problems in here. I apologize for this, but my picture keeps disappearing and I can't see basically what it's supposed to about. Every 10 seconds it's disappearing. I'll have to discontinue and try to fix this. Don't know what's going on this page. Sorry about that. Serious technical problems out here. I have no picture, I'm afraid. I can't see at all what's happening. I have no picture, my friends. I can't see at all what's happening. I need to discontinue and I can't even discontinue. It's not coming up at all. Don't know what the problem is. I have no idea. No, I can't get any picture at all. I can't even discontinue. I have no idea what's happening, my friends. I don't see any picture at all. No, I'm not getting anything. No.